What's going on, vibers? It's your boy J.S. Vaughn. And guess what, y'all? We back with another one, y'all. Today's track is from Akala, from Fire in the Booth. And this one is part 2. So let's jump right into it, fam.
Akala, brother, you know what time it is when you hear this, right?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yo, Akala.
Wow.
Knowledge is power. Volume 1, mixtape, 28th of May. Listen, AkalaMusic.com.
Chase.
Tiny bit more vocal, please, actually. Listen, knowledge is power, always.
Yo, man, the way he's starting, man. Dude had put me in the place with the Fire in the Booth first, and the first one and whatnot. This one, man, I'm just getting ready to be blown away again. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, let's go.
Listen.
The scam, brother, the scam!
Oi, mate, my personal life's great. Some of you would love me more if I rub that in your face. Okay, well, let us run down the resume and have a little chat about Akala's living today. Big whip, nice yard, been all over the globe. Look how many continents that I have done. Shows, couple little companies, neat little office, everything going swell. Little bit of profit, built a business, educating kids from the block so far as I'm concerned.
See, I like that, man. He's talking about he's building a business to educate the kids and whatnot. And that's definitely dope, you know what I mean? And he's just saying, like, how things are going for him is perfectly fine as a rapper and whatnot. And he's just basically content where he's at right now. I'm definitely liking that, you know what I mean? And the way that he spits, it's like he's storytelling type shit now, you know what I mean? And I like it when rappers do the whole storytelling lane, you know? Let's go.
Any continents that I have done. Shows, couple little companies, neat little office, everything going swell. Little bit of profit, built a business, educating kids from the block so far as I'm concerned. You gotta be a mug to not rate him. Own my own masters, still my own master. Novels and scripts on the way. Rap is just a part of the genius in his head, and he knows.
Yeah, he says, yo, rap is not the end or be on. It's just part of the whole level of things that he's doing and whatnot. So I feel that, you know what I mean, that he's not putting all the back in rap. And people told me this guy is a teacher as well, you know what I mean? So that's definitely a humble part, you know what I mean? He got the knowledge to do what he got to do. And the fact that he raps is just putting the icing on the cake, you know what I mean? Let's go.
As far as I'm concerned, you gotta be a mug to not rate him. Own my own masters, still my own master. Novels and scripts on the.
Hold on. Own my own master, still my own master. That's what that's dope right there. He said, like, yo, on some real junk, yo. Everything that I put out and whatnot, I have full ownership of it. That's number 1. And number 2, I am my own master as well. Nobody rules me besides me. I don't know how I missed that the first time around, man. But that's dope right there, yo. I like that, yo.
Wait, rap is just a part of the genius in his head, and he knows it. Dickhead, since I used to kick ball for West Ham with my big head. Back in school days, wearing hand-me-downs from my sister, and Jell was still onto man. Now that's some Ross charisma.
Yeah, I told y'all, man, like, yo, when you have nothing and whatnot, and he said, hand me down and whatnot. Everybody that knows the struggle of hand-me-downs. I mean, like, I'm the youngest child and whatnot, so I know the value of hand-me-down clothes, because I had 2 older brothers and I had plenty of hand-me-down clothes in my upbringing and whatnot. So and to know the discipline and to know the foundations of that, you know how. I mean, anyways, you see the world in a different way, you know what I mean? And I just like that, you know what I mean, that he actually put that there in there, yo.
Yes, in his head, and he knows it. Dickhead, since I used to kick ball for West Ham with my big head. Back in school days, wearing hand-me-downs from my sister, and Jell was still onto man. Now that's some Ross.
Man, he wore my hand-me-downs for my sister, and then I missed that too, man. Ah, man.
Charisma, it's just a nipper.
And he said he still used he he still was rocking it with charisma and shit, yo. All right, that's definitely gangster, yo.
I took my first pull of Rizla. I knew you think gave me that, yeah, my bigger sister. So when we speak of struggle, cousin, it's yours. You know the same old madness. Working class poor, yeah. So may have won a couple awards. I guarantee you that my family just as messed up as yours. All the abuse and that.
Yeah, man. Hold up. Hold up.
Struggle, cousin, it's yours. You know the same old madness. Working class poor, yeah. So may have won a couple awards. I guarantee you that my family just as messed up as yours. All the abuse and the alcoholism and drug addiction. Uncles going to prison. This is.
You just saying like, yo, you see me winning all these awards and all these accolades and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? But understand, yo, my family's just as fucked up as yours, man. I got uncles going in and out of jail, freaking drug abuse and all that type of shit going on. So like, just because and he's just showing you like on some real shit, if my background looks like this and I'm right here now and shit, that means anybody could do it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we all go through our freaking struggles in a day-to-day and whatnot. But on some real shit, if we try hard and we consistent with the shit that we do and whatnot, we all could achieve our goals and whatnot. So that's very humbling, and that's very factious. It's just factual. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You gotta hustle to get anywhere you want to go, you know? If you just sit in one place, you ain't gonna ever get nothing, you know?
Class poor, yeah, so may have won a couple awards. I guarantee you that my family just as messed up as yours. All the abuse and the alcoholism and drug addiction. Uncles going to prison. This is working class living in Britain. It ain't great. You gotta be kidding. So please don't ever get confused by me spitting. Cause yes, I said the ghetto's in our head, but no, I didn't mean if you live next to a food yard, that's in your dreams. I meant believing in the madness they spout about us. It's far more dangerous than putting us in council houses. So yeah, I criticize, but from a place of love, never. Ever.
I like that, man. Yeah, I criticize, but from a place of love, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, you have, sometimes people don't understand this shit, yo. When you tell somebody the truth and shit, the truth might be ugly as fucking shit. You know what I mean? And it might freaking make somebody feel bad and shit. And the criticism might be like on some shit, yo. We gotta get out of this fucking situation that we in and whatnot. You know what I mean? You fucking up big time. You know what I mean? But the only reason you telling a person, it takes love to tell somebody they fucking up. You know what I mean? You gotta, you get that comes from a place of fuck up. You gotta do better. You know what I mean? The only reason I'm telling you that shit is because I love you. You know what I mean? If I didn't love you and shit, I wouldn't tell you shit. I would just keep on letting you do what the fuck you was doing. That basically make you go the wrong route. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, yo, you gotta take the criticism with the love and do better. You know? Therefore, I like that. Let's go, man. Oh, did I tell you this is gonna be a long one? This is gonna be a fucking long ass one. So sit back, relax, and chill.
This is working class living in Britain. It ain't great. You gotta be kidding. So please don't ever get confused by me spitting. Cause yes, I said the ghetto's in our head, but no, I didn't mean if you live next to a food yard, that's in your dreams. I meant believing in the madness they spout about us. It's far more dangerous than putting us in council houses. So yeah, I criticize, but from a place of love, never, ever. Cause I think that I've become above every young brother you wanna judge as a tug. It's me, man, it's a little guidance and love. So I think that you're the mug. And why be smug when it's an actual fact? Ever, cause I think that I've become above every young brother you wanna judge as a tug. It's me, man, it's a little guidance and love. So I think that you're the mug.
I'm thinking he's saying like every man around is a thug and whatnot, but all they need is a little guidance to elevate them and to make them do better. I'm not too sure about that because the accent is kind of weird, but I'm thinking he's saying like, yo, yeah, I've said like, yo, on some real shit, there's some thuggery going on in the streets and whatnot. But like on some real shit, it's like, yo, all we need to do to these youths and whatnot is fill their heads with knowledge and whatnot, so they know better. If you know better, you'll do better and shit. You know what I mean? So, cause at the end of the day, the things that we don't know leads us to freaking bad routes and whatnot. And I think that's what he's trying to say. I'm not too sure because, yeah, but I think that's what he's trying to say.
Criticize, but from a place place of love, never, ever. Cause I think that I've become above every young bruv you wanna judge as a tug. It's me, man, that's a little guidance and love, so I think that you're the mug. And why be smug when it's an actual fact? We all commit.
Yeah, why be smug when it's an actual fact? I like that.
For every young bruv you wanna judge as a tug. It's me, man, that's a little guidance and love, so I think that you're the mug. And why be smug when it's an actual fact? We all commit crime simply by paying tax. Cause we didn't.
Said we all commit crime simply by paying taxes. Okay. I like that. Yo.
So I think that you're the mug. And why be smug when it's an actual fact? We all commit crime simply by paying tax. Cause we didn't go and tickle them people in Iraq and ask them so politely for all the minerals we extract. We blew children's heads off, set fire to backs with a gangster.
Ooh, did you peep that shit, yo? Did you peep that shit? Yo, he said, oh, wow, son. Because due to the fact that we paying, he's just saying like, oh, probably that we paying for shit to happen. We paying for the wars and we paying for all that type of shit for it to happen. So if we pay taxes and whatnot and the government uses the money to do all the kind of crazy shit that we doing and whatnot, or where the money is actually going at the end of the day and shit, we're all fucking together in a criminal activity that is going on in that. You know what I mean? I think, you know.
Simply by paying tax. Cause we didn't go and tickle them people in Iraq and ask them so politely for all the minerals we extract. We blew children's heads off, set fire to back.
We blew children's heads off. You hear that shit?
Guidance and love, so I think that you're the mug. And why be smug when it's an actual fact? We all commit crime simply by paying tax. Cause we didn't go and tickle them people in Iraq and ask them so politely for all the minerals we extract. We blew children's heads off, set fire to backs with a gangster nation. Get down and you get clapped. So when you see the youth running around on the road with heaters, don't be surprised, they're just copying their leaders. Long as the
when you see the youth running around with freaking heaters, don't worry, they just copying their leaders and shit. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day and shit, that's what they got. If you really look at it on that spectrum and whatnot, yo, like fucking yeah, man, motherfuckers is doing the worst in the higher ups and shit. You know what I mean? And it's funny how like the motherfuckers down below get blamed for all the fucked up shit. You know what I mean? But hey, let's go.
Stay in places that are brown and poor. We can all pretend to be abhorred, but we applaud. If you go up to Knightsbridge and get violent, the policeman at Duppies, you will probably get knighted. If I don't want to fight you, cuz it ain't cause I'm frightened. I'd just rather fight with those who really think they're titans.
Ooh, hold up, man.
Go up to Knightsbridge and get violent. The policeman at Duppies, you will probably get knighted. If I don't want to fight you, cuz it ain't cause I'm frightened. I'd just rather fight with those who really think they're titans.
Yo, he just said some gangster junk, man. If he's basically, yo, if I don't want to fight you, man, it's not because I'm frightened, man. I just want to fight the real enemy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let y'all fill in that line. You know what I mean? But that's deep right there, yo.
If you go up to Knightsbridge and get violent, the policeman at Duppies, you will probably get knighted. If I don't want to fight you, cuz it ain't cause I'm frightened. I'd just rather fight with those who really think they're titans. Perfect. I ain't scared of bleeding, I am scared of breathing another breath in this world where everything is so uneven. When millions murdered in the Congo when it's barely news. But if a footballer's wife,
with millions die in the Congo and it's barely news, you know what I mean? These guys
who really think they're titans. Perfect. I ain't scared of bleeding, I am scared of breathing another breath in this world where everything is so uneven. When millions murdered in the Congo when it's barely. I'd just rather fight with those who really think they're titans. Perfect. I ain't scared of bleeding, I am scared of breathing another breath in this world where everything. If I don't want to fight you, cuz it ain't cause I'm frightened. I'd just rather fight with those who really think they're titans. Perfect. I ain't scared of bleeding, I am scared of breathing.
I'm not scared of bleeding, but I am scared of breathing.
Another breath in this world where everything is so uneven.
Breathing another freaking breath in this world where so much shit is so uneven. You know what I mean? And then he goes into the freaking so many freaking motherfuckers dying in the Congo and shit. Thousands of motherfuckers dying in the condo, and nobody freaking really freaking blinks an eye about that shit. But one motherfucker.
Even when millions murdered in the Congo when it's barely news. But if a footballer's wife should buy a pair of shoes, I'm supposed to give up. Apparently, I do not. The world's a reflection of.
You see that shit? Yo, it's just like he's just basically saying like, it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Block. And if you think a world that profit from their death and be totally cool, thinks you're better because you live here, you're a bloody fool. Look around at genocidal abuse. I swear humanity ain't nothing but a virus with shoes. Then I pick my nephew up from school and I look at the youths and see the love they show each other, and I'm just so confused because they ain't learned yet what is their race or religion. So we're born
He's talking about the youths and shit, and the fact like when you young, nobody know the difference between race and religion and whatnot, and it's baffled. It's like really crazy because like when you young and you a little youth and whatnot, all you see is fun. You know what I mean? You don't see color, you don't see anything like that. You know what I mean? And the more you grow up and the more you see the structure of society and whatnot, the harder your shell is. And the further you go away, the more you gravitate towards whoever. It's like knowledge is power and whatnot. People feed you feed into the garbage of society and whatnot. And when you're young, there is none of that. But the older you are, the more entrenched you are with the bullshit that is freaking the bullshit. You know what I mean? The bullshit that is the bullshit. And you start seeing people in different ways when you should still see people how you saw them when you were younger and shit. Yeah. Makes sense? Yeah, I think it makes sense. Yeah, let's go.
But we learn to play our position in the system. Look what that does to our recognition of self. We grow suspicion of our own intuition. Now listen, Akala's sick, but he raps about racism too much. Could you imagine I gave a flying? Cause it's amazing.
You said, yo, man, Akala, you rapping around. He raps around about racism way too much, and mind you, this freestyle right here was like done years ago. You know what I mean? And I think he's always talking about like race relations and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? But I mean, like as you can see, like the more you talk about it, the more people know and understand each other a little bit better. You know what I mean? And the better it is for us to get along and whatnot. I encourage people to discuss race because it's a hard topic to talk about. You know what I mean? Like I always say, like if we don't talk about it, then we're always gonna make like assumptions and whatnot. You know what I mean? And fear comes from things that we don't know. So if we know, then we won't fear. You know what I mean? And we won't fear the hard conversations because we already had them already. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's keep it moving, man.
How many want to claim they love this music with no respect for the actual? Now listen, Akala's sick, but he raps about racism too much. Could you imagine I gave a flying? Cause it's amazing. How many want to claim they love this music with no respect for the actual struggle that produced it? Did hip hop?
Ooh, some who claim they really love the freaking music, but don't give a fuck about the hardcore struggle that it took to fucking build it. You know what I mean? Cause like the whole freaking world of hip hop wasn't built on freaking marshmallow freaking stones and whatnot, yo. Motherfuckers really sacrificed a lot for the music and whatnot, you know what I mean? And for the realism of it, you know what I mean? And for the structure of it, in the simple freaking value of speaking your mind and not being judged for it, you know what I mean? Because yeah, let's go, man. Real shit always survives.
Sick, but he raps about racism too much. Could you imagine I gave a flying? Cause it's it's amazing. How many wanna claim they love this music with no respect for the actual struggle that produced it? Did hip-hop not start in segregated hoods? Are them hoods not still segregated? So it's really good. Are the First Nation not still on reservations where the age of 46 is the average life expectation? And fellas, I wonder where the favelas have been suddenly knocked down and replaced with something better. If you got sense, you see fights to join the race, class and gender are sides of the same coin. So if you're really down for justice, whoever the people who suffers, whoever you are, I consider you my sister's brothers, but call it what it is, like Carlin or Bill Hicks. Not these patronizing left-wing little twits that ask me dumb shit on a superior tip and wanna act like cause I read I saw less violence as a kid. Don't make me an exception for your mental protection from acceptance. These patronizing left-wing little twits that ask me dumb shit on a superior tip and wanna act like cause I read I saw less violence as a kid. Don't make.
Hold up, man. I like that shit, yo.
What it is, like Carlin or Bill Hicks. Not these patronizing left-wing little twits that ask me dumb shit on a superior tip and wanna act like cause I read I saw less violence as a kid. Don't make me.
Oh, he said, yo, they basically saying, yo, they acting like if just because I read and shit, man, it doesn't mean I didn't see mad violence as a kid and shit. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I read and shit, but I've seen a lot of shit as well. You know what I mean? You can't negate that from me. You know what I mean? I might be fucking hella intelligent and shit, but I seen a lot of fuckery in my life and shit. And that fuckery that I seen has an impact on me, on how I see society as a whole. You know what I mean? So yeah, I know how to read and I'm intelligent and whatnot, but at the end of the day, that's not that's not the whole part of me and shit. You know what I mean? Let's go, man. I like that, yo. And he's talking about motherfuckers that interview him and shit, that just basically assholes and shit. You know what I mean? They only see him as a one-dimensional motherfucker and whatnot. And that's a lot of times that's what it is and whatnot. It's like you don't get to see black people as many facets and shit on TV and whatnot. It's usually just one dimension and whatnot. And I think that is like it's a biggest kind of disconnect. You know what I mean? Because we're freaking more than freaking hip hop artists and shit and singers and shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, and actors and freaking sports athletes and shit. You know what I mean? We're way more than that. You know, and until that picture is shown 100% correctly and whatnot, then we're always gonna have these problems and shit, you know? Let's go.
An exception for your mental protection from accepting the madness in the system we are left in. That was the clearest thing to come of August events. All the closet bigots started speaking their minds against the when a Jamaican or Asians misbehaving. Of course, it's because of their skin. Blonde hair kills a million people. That's just him. And it's entertaining. Some people are so.
You heard that, right? You heard that shit, right? Hold up, man. Let me rewind that.
All the closet bigots started speaking their minds against the when a Jamaican or Asians misbehaving. Of course, it's because of their skin.
Yeah, when an Asian or a Jamaican freaking commits a crime, of course it's for their skin, you know what I mean? It can't be because of anything else besides the person's skin color. It's because of their skin.
Blonde hair kills a million people, that's just him.
And a blonde hair kills a million people, it's just him, you know what I mean? But like at the end of the day and whatnot, like what he's basically saying is like, yo, when a blonde haired motherfucker kills like a whole bunch of motherfuckers and shit, the blame is solely on him and him only and whatnot. But when a Jamaican person or an Asian person freaking commits a crime, it's like, oh, that's what these motherfuckers be doing. You know what I mean? Jamaicans and Asians do, you know what I mean? That's a good example. That's I like how he said that, you know what I mean? They blame the whole freaking race or whatever that do that, you know what I mean? But anyways, well, let's go.
From accepting the madness in the system we are left in. That was the clearest thing to come of August events. All the closet bigots started speaking their minds against the when a Jamaican or Asians misbehaving. Of course, it's because of their skin. Blonde hair kills a million people, that's just him. And it's entertaining, some people are so thick, but I prefer that than all of the fake grins. Cause it's the only problem. People claim they want to solve, but don't actually want to talk about how it evolved. You are.
Damn, he said it, son. He said it. I'd rather see somebody's true color than see a fake grin. You know what I mean? Let's go, man. I think that's what he meant, though. I think that's what he meant. Let me see that.
It's entertaining, some people are so thick, but I prefer that than all of the fake grins, cause it's the only problem. People claim they want us so, but don't actually want to talk about how it evolved. You are told, this country really, really yours, sir? What they did to brown people did to their own poor first, and originally in the States, working class whites were also enslaved, and no one talks about it today.
He said working class whites was also enslaved. So it's just like, he's just basically saying, like on some real shit, yo, let's be 100 with this shit, you know what I mean? Before there was freaking slaves that were blacks and stuff, they were enslaving white motherfuckers first, man. Please stop it. Let's go. Y'all motherfuckers was enslaving y'all motherfucking selves and shit. You know what I mean? It's basically like the caste system. Don't act like history didn't happen. You know what I mean? But it's like people don't understand that shit. Like, yeah, let's go, man.
Told, this country really, really yours, sir? What they did to brown people did to their own poor first, and originally in the States, working class.
He said own poor first. You know, with the first, he said the things that we did to brown people first, y'all did to your own poor first and whatnot. So basically, if you was poor and happened to be white back in the day and shit before the whole situation happened, I don't know where he was talking about, but it's probably universal. They made slaves of themselves and whatnot. They're poor beings and whatnot.
Whites were also enslaved, and no one talks about it today. Ever since the master came with the system of privilege, made the working whites the overseers, mulattoes the house, could put the darkest blacks in the field. That
he said mulattoes in the house. He just basically explaining the whole caste system. You put the freaking white mulattoes in the house and blacks in the outhouse, you know.
Also enslaved, and no one talks about it today. Ever since the master came with the system of privilege, made the working whites the overseers, mulattoes the house, could put the darkest blacks in the field. That mind is with us still. $1 billion industry, skin cream and bleaching pills. And
damn, skin cream and bleaching cream. Hold up.
Also enslaved, and no one talks about it today. Ever since the master came with the system of privilege, made the working whites the overseers, mulattoes the house, could put the darkest blacks in the field. That mind is with us still. $1 billion industry, skin cream and bleaching pills. And let's be honest, most people are my complexion. To this very day, still think they're better than the darker section. You say it's changed, then only.
See that? I've been waiting for somebody to make that analogy and whatnot, because that's a narrative that's around and whatnot, and that's a poor narrative at that, you know what I mean? Because all you need is like a drop of freaking color in you, and you're black, you know what I mean? Let's be 100, man. Let's be 100. Just a drop. That's it.
Still, $1 billion industry, skin cream and bleaching pills. And let's be honest, most people are my complexion. To this very day, still think they're better than the darker section. You say it's changed, then only educate me about Wilberforce, not about the Africans in Haiti who beat the armies of the British.
Ooh, but. Oh, you want to tell my history right now, son? All right, yo, let's go, man. I want to hear this, man. I want to see how clear you got that, bro. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Privilege made the working whites the overseers, mulattoes the house, could put the darkest blacks in the field. That mind is with us still. $1 billion industry, skin cream and bleaching pills. And let's be honest, most people are my complexion. To this very day, still think they're better than the darker section. You say it's changed, then only educate me about Wilberforce, not about the Africans in Haiti who beat the armies of.
Yo, man, you about to jump on the freaking Haiti jump off and whatnot, yo. Let's go.
British, Spanish, and Napoleon. From the moment they stolen them, there was no controlling them. When I was in school, she said, no, you never fought for freedom. No, we freed you, and you were on your knees pleading. Oh,
man, you already know that wasn't the truth, man. You know what I mean?
What's more, did you know that we kind of saved you from the barbarism of Africa? You should be grateful when enough of our own people can't be bothered to read that they actually believed that we were swinging from trees. They don't know the Kingdom of Congo had embassies in Italy 500 years ago. Literally ain't heard of St. Maurice nor Septimus Severus. They ain't studying the past because they think it's irrelevant and attempts at pretending ancient Egyptians weren't African. Nothing more than pseudo-intellectual lies. They obviously ain't read what Aristotle and Herodotus said about people that they saw for their own eyes. And Egypt's been invaded since the fall of the pharaohs. Not once, not twice, but many, many times. So nobody wants to explain why so many statues are missing noses. Even when them statues made of granite, it ain't one people alone mistaught about themselves. We live on Celtic land, but don't learn about the Celts. The same Irish people you characterize as stupid. You're in the dark ages, some of the most educated living in Europe.
Let's go, son. Let's go, son.
Herodotus said about people that they saw for their own eyes. And Egypt's been invaded since the fall of the pharaohs. Not once, not twice, but many, many times. So nobody wants to explain why so many statues are missing noses. Even when them statues made of granite, it ain't one people alone.
So many statues are missing freaking half their noses and whatnot. Because, yo, man, they trying to hide the truth. You know what I mean? Like, come on, son. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The pharaohs, not once, not twice, but many, many times. So nobody wants to explain why so many statues are missing noses. Even when them statues made of granite, it ain't one people alone mistaught about themselves. We live on Celtic land, but don't learn about the Celts. The same Irish people you characterize as stupid. You're in the dark ages, some of the most educated living in Europe. And did you learn the numbers you count with every day was invented by Indian people? I bet you didn't. Or how
Yo, man, was created by Indian people. I bet you did. Yo, alright, this is what I gotta say about this dude right here. Every time you sit down and you listen to a freestyle of his and whatnot, yo, he's trying to inform. He's trying to teach. I feel like he's somewhat like a KRS-One of UK. You know what I mean? Because he's just preaching shit that we should have already known. That we should have known in school and whatnot, but we didn't learn these things in school. So therefore, he's actually teaching us things that we should have known. You know what I mean? I've known a lot of shit that he's saying right here. I know, you know what I mean? So I just like the fact that he's pushing that and he's teaching that to a generation that might not have been taught that in school. You know what I mean? And that's a blessing for that he's doing that, you know what I mean? Because you could only freaking be able to move forward would have when you have a clear understanding what your past is, you know what I mean? So if you know what your past is and you know the truth about your past, it's easy for you to move forward into the future, you know what I mean? And I see what he does and I respect it and yeah, it's just really cool. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Any million Indians fought for Britain in both world wars. Still you got the cheek to call them immigrants. We don't learn about the Moors, of course. For some that knowledge dangerous. Is it a problem the impact they had on the Renaissance? When people take power over another group, we minimize their achievements so we can make it feel true. So if you think...
Yo, man. Oh, man. Yeah, man. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Wars, of course, for some that knowledge dangerous. Is it a problem the impact they had on the Renaissance? When people take power over another group, we minimize their achievements.
When people take power over a certain group, we minimize their importances and shit. You know what I mean? So therefore, at the end of the day, all levels of greatness, like when you see freaking certain people like gloss over freaking big accomplishments made by freaking people and whatnot, you know what I mean? It's kind of freaking diminishing the value of those people and whatnot. The facts is the facts and whatnot, and they're always going to be the facts. But if you hide the facts in a way that the narrative looks different, you know what I mean? You make new facts, or you make new. You hide the truth and you put new freaking content over the truth, which diminish a group, you know what I mean? Which is not really cool, you know what I mean?
We can make it feel true. So if you think Columbus was first to sail ocean blue, you probably believe Elvis invented rock and roll too. And
you probably think Elvis created rock and roll too. Whoa. Let's go, man. I like that one.
We don't learn about the Moors, of course. For some, that knowledge dangerous. Is it a problem, the impact they had on the Renaissance? When people take power over another group, we minimize their achievements so we can make it feel true. So if you think Columbus was first to sail ocean blue, you probably believe Elvis invented rock and roll too. And for the record, no doubt I believe in peace, but not for 1 second, and they'll turn the other cheek. They slap you, slap them back, take teeth.
He said, yo, man. Yo, I like that, yo. Hold up.
Columbus was first to sail ocean blue, you probably believe Elvis invented rock and roll too. And for the record, no doubt I believe in peace, but not for 1 second, and they'll turn the other cheek. He
said, yo, man, for what, man? Yo, listen, I believe in motherfucking peace, yo. That's my word, man. If you want peace, I want peace and whatnot, yo. But I ain't gonna forget shit, man. If you gonna slap me on my fucking cheek, my G, I'ma slap you right fucking back, bro. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, yo, if you keep your hands to yourself and shit and play your game properly and whatnot, I'll do the same fucking shit, bro. You know what I mean? Because I believe in peace. You know what I mean? Let's go, man.
Their achievements so we can make it feel true. So if you think Columbus was first to sail ocean blue, you probably believe Elvis invented rock and roll too. And for the record, no doubt I believe in peace, but not for 1 second, and they'll turn the other cheek. They slap you, slap them back, take teeth. The only way you bully ever learn is getting beat. Fight, fire with fire, nah, fire with water. See the life-giving force.
Fire, nah, fire with war. Wow. That's style. Let's go. Wow. I think I'm freaking fast forwarding instead of
to sail ocean blue, you probably believe Elvis invented rock and roll too. And for the record, no doubt I believe in peace, but not for 1 second, and they'll turn the other cheek. They slap you, slap them back, take teeth. The only way you bully ever learn is getting beat. Fight, fire with fire, nah, fire with water. See the life-giving force is stronger than the destroyer. That's why these MCs can't speak to me. No, all men are not made equally. My brain's made.
Yo, that's why these MCs can't speak to me. All men are not made equally. Damn, son. Let's go. Yeah.
And on fire with water. See the life-giving force is stronger than the destroyer. That's why these MCs can't speak to me. No, all men are not made equally. My brain's made of iron fiber, conducting the livest wire. My average grade's higher than Oxford or Cambridge require. I don't want credit because I got a message. I want credit because I'm the best MC. Get it? When I came out way back in 04.
Oh man, listen, yo, he say, man, I'm just saying, yo, I don't want credit because I'm saying a lot of good shit. You know what I mean? I'm just saying I'm the best because, yo, when I came up on, let me let him talk, man.
Just want every award. Most man would have done the bait thing, put big sis on the chorus chords. That would have been A-list, sure. Quickly I would have been famous more, but look how I came in this thing raw. Bang off the streets some more. If I MC then I heard me rap, I'd be like, what the? I ain't never gonna be that good, so I better not push my luck. He will embarrass me. Only insanity would make you challenge me. Better hope if we bump heads, that day that I feel like charity. If not, it's a beating, and there ain't no use in search of a meaning. Cause all it means is that you are crap and I am a genius. Why I'm Panama, I push the pyramid.
Yo, you are crap and I am a genius. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Would make you challenge me. Better hope if we bump heads, that day that I feel like charity. If not, it's a beating, and there ain't no use in search of a meaning. Cause all it means is that you are crap and I am a genius. Why I'm Panama, I push the parameter. Can you imagine if I'm sicker than average? I killing with character. Benjamin Banneker, look at the marriage. I stamina damage. A boy from Botanica. Gotta look for the
Okay, yo. I was listening to it and I was like, yo, I see his flow. I see how he switched his flow, like when he was like, yo, man, on some real shit, like, don't think like I don't got skills on the rap. Like, y'all see me talking about the teaching and all that type of shit, yo, but I got skills. And he started spitting, and I was like, oh, okay, he doing a little chopper shit going, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's interesting. And all of a sudden, he just put it on extra speed, because I was understanding I was understanding the shit, and then he just started. I was like, oh, I didn't know this was gonna be one of these tracks or whatnot that I had to really focus. But hold up, I gotta focus. I gotta rewind.
Cause all it means is that you are crap and I am a genius. Where I'm Panama, I push the perimeter. Can you imagine if I'm sicker than average? Killing with character. Benjamin Banneker, look at the marriage. Stamina damage. A boy from Botanica. Got to look for the whole of the calendar. So cold that I'm all in the challenger. Why you man roll with the amateurs? I'm too much harder. You can just call him Father Akala, but I don't talk shit like a pastor. You already know that I'm smarter than half a bloody disaster. If I ever
hold up, man. I don't do shit like a pastor, even though I'm sick like Arthur. Hold up.
Got to look for the whole of the calendar. So cold that I'm all in the challenger. Why you man roll with the amateurs? I'm too much harder. You can just call him Father Akala, but I don't talk shit like a pastor. You already know that I'm smarter than half.
You see? Oh, I'm good. He says, yo, I caught it, and now I gotta go back. I gotta go back, guys. I gotta go back, because I gotta hear that whole shit. Because he didn't start with the pastor. He started with something about God and whatnot. Let me rewind a little bit, yo.
Damage a boy from Botanica. Got to look for the whole of the calendar. So cold that I'm all in the challenger. Why you man roll with the amateurs? I'm too much harder. You can just call him Father Akala, but
you could call him Father Bacola. Father Bacola. You could call him. I'm just quite harder. You could call me Father Bacola, something like that. Hold up.
with character, Benjamin Banneker, look at the marriage, stamina damage, a boy from Botanica. Got to look for the whole of the calendar. So cold that I'm all in the challenger. Why you man roll with the amateurs? I'm too much harder. You can just call him Father Akala, but I don't.
You could call him I'm just like Father. You could call me Father Bacarda.
Talk shit like a pastor. You already know.
But I don't talk. I don't talk shit like a pastor. Or do I? But I talk shit like a pastor. I don't know. Hold up, damn.
Marriage, stamina damage, a boy from Botanica. Got to look for the whole of the calendar. So cold that I'm all in the challenger. Why you man roll with the amateurs? I'm too much harder. You can just call him.
He said, why you roll with the amateurs? I'm too much harder.
But I don't talk shit like a pastor. You already know that
I don't do shit like a pastor. Okay.
Ain't no use in searching for meaning, cause all it means is that you are crap and I am a genius. Where I'm Panama.
You are crap and I am a
push the perimeter, can you imagine if I'm sicker than average? Killing with character, Benjamin Banneker, look at the marriage, stamina damage, a boy from Botanica.
Benjamin Banneker. You see, I'm freaking like, every time I freaking rewind and shit, I find something more impressive and whatnot that I grab on and whatnot, but I forget. I'm trying to freaking find. Hey man, let's go.
Got to look for the whole of the calendar. So cold that I'm all in the challenger. Why you man roll with the amateurs? I'm too much harder. You can just call him Father Akala, but I don't talk shit like a pastor. You already know that I'm smarter than half a blood.
I don't talk shit like a pastor, even though I'm harder than Arthur. Author, meaning author, a writer. Let me see.
Boy from Botanica, got to look for the whole of the calendar. So cold that I'm all in the challenger. Why you man roll with the amateurs? I'm too much harder. You can just call him Father Akala, but I don't talk shit like a pastor. You already know that I'm smarter than half a bloody disaster. If I ever start, I'll probably a prodigy, make you a martyr. For these crap MCs that mumble, then see me in the flesh and crumble. Never told you that I was humble. I just call him Father Akala, but I don't talk shit like a pastor. You already know that I'm smarter than half a bloody disaster. If I ever start, I'll probably a prodigy, make you a martyr. For these crap MCs that mumble, then see me in the flesh and crumble. Never told you that I was
MCs that mumble. Wow.
all in the challenger. Why you man roll with the amateurs? I'm too much harder. You can just call him Father Akala, but I don't talk shit like a pastor. You already know that I'm smarter than half a bloody disaster. If I ever start, I'll probably a prodigy, make you a martyr. For these crap MCs that mumble, then see me in the flesh and crumble. Never told you that I was humble. No, I'm not. Don't lie. I'm so sure in my writing ability.
Never told you I was humble, man. Nope.
I'm smarter than half a bloody disaster. If I ever start, I'll probably a prodigy, make you a martyr. For these crap MCs that mumble, then see me in the flesh and crumble. Never told you that I was humble. No, I'm not. Don't lie. I'm so sure in my writing ability that I feel like I'm finding divinity. Sit down, let me rhyme a soliloquy. My agility, time in this military. What singular team for the mini-me? It seems you're theme for the mimicry. Your team couldn't dream of the synergy that I've been when I scheme when a wicked beat. There goes again with the big words with best syllables. Get your dictionaries out. That's what I'm about. Clowns wanna shout.
There I go again with the big words out, man. Get your dictionary. Y'all motherfuckers gonna need a dictionary for that shit, man. You better get the dictionary, because you ain't gonna be understanding what the motherfucker is saying. So you talking about the big ass words right now. So let's go, son.
What singular team for the mini-me? It seems rough for the mimicry. Your team couldn't dream of the synergy that I bring when I scheme when I wish to beat. There goes again with the big words with best syllables. Get your dictionaries out, that's what I'm about. Clowns wanna shout, smash them in the mouth. Bloody professor, a man of the letters I read and I'm sure that I'm better. Never regret an endeavour to dead an oppressor. I think that the lepers that think that their pleasures are better endeavours than all of our pressures. But see me, born in a rage, maroon blood coursing my veins. As you can see, I was born for the stage, but I'll never be that cultural made. Some say that we're political, it's what they're doing isn't. Don't they preach a political doctrine called materialism? But for all the Italian clothes that you wear, who German cars that you drive, or French champagne that will buy, will still be monkeys in their eyes. So why you were begging it?
Oh shit. That was bars right here. He's basically saying, yo, whatever the fuck y'all motherfuckers doing is, I gotta rewind it a little bit further back, because he was just basically saying like, yo, it doesn't matter what the fuck y'all motherfuckers doing, man. What fucking fancy cars y'all motherfuckers driving and shit. What fancy champagne y'all freaking popping and whatnot. Whatever y'all motherfucking doing and shit, yo, they still gonna look at you like you a motherfucking clown and shit. You know what I mean? So go ahead and do all that, you know what I mean? Clown me because I'm talking about politics and freaking informing motherfuckers and shit. And after that, keep on doing what you're doing because you only look like a clown. You know what I mean?
It's what they're doing isn't. Don't they preach a political doctrine called materialism? But for all the Italian clothes that you wear, who German cars that you drive, or French champagne that will buy, will still be monkeys in their eyes. So why you were begging it? Who knows? Italians fight to wear Jamaican clothes. Italians call their own women, but everyone's entertainment.
Ooh, shit. Ho, 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 ho.
See me, born in a rage, maroon blood coursing my veins. As you can see, I was born for the stage, but I'll never be that cultural made. Some say that we're political, it's what they're doing isn't. Don't they preach a political doctrine called materialism? But for all the Italian
political document called materialism, materialism.
Clothes that you wear, who German cars that you drive, or French champagne that will buy, will still be monkeys in their eyes. So why you were begging it? Who knows? Italians fight to wear Jamaican clothes. Italians call their own.
Italian factories wear Jamaican clothes.
Women, but everyone's entertainment, bro.
Do these motherfuckers call women freaking words for entertainment?
But hey, what do I know? I'm just the one with the codes that flows all over the globe. I'm bunning out shows, but still don't oil my chest and pose. Pose a threat to the power structure. Not because we're anything special, but because we're the people together. And that's the only way things change ever.
Yo, dope, man. Yo, because we the people and we're together. That's the only way that we gonna make shit change together. You know what I mean?
Champagne that will buy will still be monkeys in their eyes, so why you were begging it? Who knows? Italians fight to wear Jamaican clothes. Italians call their own women, but everyone's entertainment, bro. But hey, what do I know? I'm just the one with the codes that flows all over the globe. I'm bunning out shows, but still don't oil my chest and pose. Pose a threat to the power structure. Not because we're anything special, but because we're the people together. And that's the only way things change ever.
You see that? Because we're the people together. That's the only way things gonna change forever. You know what I mean? He just basically saying on some real shit. All that shit is cute. You know what I mean? All them fucking cars, all calling the females hoes and all that type of shit. That's fucking cool. But on some real shit, yo, we have to value ourselves first and whatnot, and do ourselves right before we could deal with others and shit. You know what I mean? Because if we don't take care of ourselves first, we can't move forward. You know what I mean? That's a fact. You know what I mean? You have no power if you have no stability on the ground. You know what I mean? You can't make no moves. You know what I mean? And that's what he's basically saying right here. You know? Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Akala just tore the building to pieces. I don't even know what to say. I feel like I just been schooled for a hot minute right there. Saying MCs, you know what? Like, I don't want to hear you. Don't call my phone. If you ain't coming to destroy a beat like that, don't call my phone or you're going to get a voicemail. Akala, wow. I don't even know what.
That dude said, yo, man, if you ain't going to come and destroy a beat over here, son, don't even come here, yo. You sound, yo, I don't know. Maybe freaking Funkmaster Flex got that junk from him, man. Cause Funkmaster Flex be talking some shit like that, yo. If you're not coming here, you to hit fire beats, man, get the fuck out of here, yo. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Say.
Yo, little story. Let's take him down. Yo, listen. Yo.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely, but absolute powerlessness does the same. It's not the poverty, it's the inequality we live with every day that will turn us insane. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, but absolute powerlessness does the same. It's not the poverty, it's the inequality we live with every day. Yo, listen. In a scheme of living, my life wasn't hard, but as far as Britain goes, I practically starved. Sleeping in a tracksuit, gas meter running out, electric cut off as well, candles lighting up the house. Looking in my mother's eyes, I see how she feels. The strain and the pain of just paying bills that ain't real.
That's the truth, man. You know what I mean? When you living in no type of condition and whatnot, and you see your mom hustling heavy, you know what I mean? And you young as a child and whatnot, you want to help, but you don't know what to do to help and whatnot. It's like one of those like unbearable type of situations where you want to help but you can't. You know, it's very a hard situation, man. Definitely digging that, yo. Let's go, man.
And that's how I grew, like so many more. And that was part of who I am very sure. You wanna know the rage I feel in my stomach? No, my mom and dad's split up when I was still in her stomach. And not everything that happened I will put in 16s, but I will tell you enough so you will know what I mean. My boy's mother.
He said, yo, so I like that, yo. Not everything that happened that I'm gonna put in 16. I'm just gonna tell you enough so you could understand what I mean. You know what I mean? Basically, it's like he's just basically saying like, yo, I don't really need to tell you every fucked up shit that happened to me in my past and whatnot, yo, but I'm gonna tell you enough for you to understand where my shit was. Yeah, I have to respect that, you know what I mean?
Got cancer the same time as mine, but his mother died and mine survived. It was crazy. Everything that happened I will put in 16s, but I will tell you enough so you will know what I mean. My boy's mother got cancer the same time as mine, but his mother died and mine survived. It was crazy back then. When I was like 10, already had the mental strength more than many.
Damn, so his mom had freaking cancer at 10 and his mom survived but his friends didn't and whatnot, yo. That's crazy.
Grown men, this was a couple years after my stepdad left. Did he really know the crazy mess that he left? Because mum done recover from the lumps in her neck, but being poor and alone couldn't cope with the stress. My big sis fought.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Stepfather left and whatnot, and he's like saying like, yo, I don't even know if that nigga, my bad, if that person knew what the hell was going on and whatnot. And at the end of the day, you know, he left a large hole. It's kind of hard, like, to be a single mother and have kids and trying their best to raise them, you know what I mean?
So much so, now I hadn't left school. When she left home, I was 13 by now. Lumps in her neck, but being poor and alone couldn't cope with the stress. My big sis fought. So much so, now I hadn't left school. When she left home, I was 13 by now. Still a little kid, innocent. Next couple years though, will turn him to a militant. That is the result of no.
13. Yo, after that, man, the whole freaking shit that happened up to that point turned him to militant, you know what I mean? His sister left and whatnot. Now it's just him and his mom Dukes in the crib and shit, and he's trying to fend and whatnot. He's like, yo, man, I don't know what the fuck's going on next, but I gotta find a way to freaking deal, you know?
Don't recover from the lumps in her neck, but being poor and alone couldn't cope with the stress. My big sis fought. So much so, now I hadn't left school. When she left home, I was 13 by now. Still a little kid, innocent. Next couple years though, will turn him to a militant. That is the result of no food in the fridge and every other.
That is the result of no food in the fridge. Facts, man. When you hungry, man, shit ain't gonna be popping like that.
There you getting searched by the pigs, plus these patronizing teachers, though. My grade sick, trying to amass.
Oh, man. He just said it. He's like, yo. He said, like, yo, I turned militant because I used to freaking get fucked around all the time by these stupid ass freaking cops and shit, thinking I'm less than and whatnot, so they fucking with me. And these stupid ass teachers and whatnot that don't know the brightness that be me, you know what I mean? Even though I was scoring epic grades in school and shit, you know what I mean? They still didn't understand the value of me, and they try to freaking act like I was a idiot, you know what I mean?
dope, we'll turn him to a militant. That is the result of no food in the fridge. And every other day you're getting searched by the pigs. Plus these patronizing teachers, though my grade's sick, trying to emasculate me, yeah, turn me to a Anna. Don't mean a woman, please let me be clear. I mean a spineless man, because what do they fear? More
I mean a spineless man, you know what I mean? A man that doesn't stand for anything, you know what I mean?
these patronizing teachers, though my grade's sick, trying to emasculate me, yeah, turn me to a Anna. Don't mean a woman, please let me be clear. I mean a spineless man, because what do they fear? More than a working class brown male with a brain. When our energy is harnessed, everything changed. Look at Pac, look at Marley, look at Hendrix, look at Garvey. This is the potential that is wasted on a daily basis. A racist, classist world that we live in. Still we coming for nothing and we educate millions. I see why it scares you. It's like, how dare you overcome obstacles that we have been careful to place in your way every step of the way. In this so-called democracy where kids get sprayed, blacks and the Asians.
Yo, man, where every kids get sprayed, black and the Asians. Showing some truth here, man.
Turks and the chavs, crowded in council flats, living like ants. And who's more confused than so-called white trash? Talking this madness, but they want their country back. It never was yours. You should read more. What they did.
He said it never was yours. You should read more.
Brown people, they did to their own poor, but people's memory short. So much that I'm seeing black and Asian kids cuss Eastern Europeans. No pot to piss in, makes competition. I fail to see how this is an effective system when cats and dogs in America and Britain eat better food than most of humanity.
Ooh, when cats and dogs, man, in Britain eat better food than most of the people in society, son. You know what I mean? That's crazy, man. And it's true, you know what I mean? Let's go.
Yeah, we spend our technology only on killing. How is this more than sophisticated savagery? It was once said, the world is the stage, each person just an actor with a part to play, like the middle class kids and kids of the rich that have everything, but yet still they pissed on their coke and ketamine, strung out on. I ain't generalizing, look at the evidence. So go to Glastonbury any year, you will see. But unlike Carnival, it won't be crawling with police. This is London. The kids on the very next street had a very different life experience from me. And in my experience, they can't help but be smug. After a lifetime of what they think's just good luck, but they're still more anxious and more thankless. Unearned privilege weighs like an anchor. That's why they copy what we do, trying to be what they not.
Unearned privilege.
Had a very different life experience from me. And in my experience, they can't help but be smug. After a lifetime of what they think's just good luck, but they're still more anxious and more thankless. Unearned privilege weighs like an anchor. That's why they call
unearned privilege weighs like an anchor. Wow. Unearned privilege weighs like an anchor. You know what I mean? It's like when you grow up within privilege and whatnot, you stand pretty much for nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, because everything was basically handed to you and whatnot. You value the shit that you value in life is pretty much nothing. You know what I mean? Because it comes to you like fucking water. You know what I mean?
what we do, trying to be what they not. They will grow up though and get better jobs and maintain a system that they claim that they hated. They can't fight against, they got a stake in this matrix. Hip-hop is just a fad to them. You didn't know?
He said, yo, hip-hop is just a fad to them. You didn't know? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they go through that trend where they love hip-hop and whatnot, and then they go, after a certain time and whatnot, they get better jobs, and they work for the system or be part of the system that they were talking about that they hated from the beginning and whatnot. You know what I mean?
But for us, this is our living, breathing soul. And yeah, they might backpack in South America or even volunteer in an African village. But all said and done, when push comes to shove and hits the fan of middle class and British, and I ain't even dissing. That's just how it is. Most rich brown people are just as full of shit. So much.
Tell the truth, man. Most rich brown people are still full of shit. You know what I mean? Let's go, man. I like that, yo. Shit. Wowzers, man. yo. Let's listen to that shit again, son. Sorry for that laugh. I don't know where they came from.
said and done, when push comes to shove, and hits the fan of middle class and British, and I ain't even dissing. That's just how it is. Most rich brown people are just as full of shit. So much more concerned with our cars and jewels than most of the world's poor looks just like you. So much.
Yo, he said, all y'all concerned about is more cars and wealth, and most of the world is just all poor like you and whatnot. Cause it's just a kinder way. I think a kinder way of telling the motherfuckers that you're a freaking sellout and shit. You know what I mean? Cause the only thing that you value as being a brown man with money and freaking the means and whatnot to help communities and shit, the only shit that you pretty much, he's not saying all, but he's saying most, you know what I mean? The only thing I care about is yourself and getting your shit up, you know what I mean? And you forgetting about everybody down beneath you and how hard it is for them. Because you apparently was successful enough to make it out. Yeah, let's go.
More concerned with being privileged few. And who knows, maybe me too, because absolute power corrupts absolutely, but absolute
power, maybe me too, because absolute power corrupts absolutely, you know what I mean? Let me go into that. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. There is no freaking meaning like with power and whatnot, you're bound to get corrupted in one way or another, you know? Maybe that's what he's saying.
Powerlessness does the same. It's not the poverty, it's the inequality we live with every day that will turn us insane. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, but absolute powerlessness does the same. It's not the poverty, it's the inequality we live with every day that will turn us insane.
You're powerful joint, you know what I mean? Definitely another one, you know what I mean? Like I said, this dude right here is mad deep, you know what I mean? Mad truths and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, like he put it in a level that I've never heard somebody be so on point with so many in so many different ways and whatnot. In this day and age and whatnot, we need more rappers like him preaching and talking the truth like that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I don't think a lot of rappers are that bold or that committed to telling the truth. You know what I mean? I think they're too like infatuated with the cars and the freaking jewelry and all that, and basically themselves to actually care about what the fuck's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Majority of them nowadays is like freaking high all fucking time and shit. You know what I mean? And it's kind of freaking sad. But like every time I see a guy like him and whatnot, it's very refreshing. You know what I mean? You already know. Do I have to say it? You know what I mean? I'll say it anyways. You know what I mean? Because I do feel it. I'm definitely feeling this track. You know what I mean? This dude right here went in so many different levels and whatnot. I'm pretty sure I spent over an hour on this track. But it was definitely worth it because I was informed about a lot of things that were going on in the UK that I didn't know before. You know what I mean? So that's a dope ass part. You know what I mean? But anyways, if you guys feeling the track like I did, you know what I mean? Put it down there in the comment section all day long. Tell me what you think about it. You know what I mean? If you guys want any type of reaction videos and whatnot or whatever, put that junk in the comment section all day long. You see this right here? This is my thumb right here. I want you to take your thumb and put it all the way up there with the thumbs up, you know? Show me some love and support in that way. Another way you can show me some love and support is by subscribing to the channel right down there all day long, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much it, man. Oh, hold up for a second, man. If you guys made it to the end of the video, tell me, yo, Jay, I made it to the end of the video. Anyways, yo, besides that, I'm going to check you guys out next time on the next video. Peace out, one love, fam.